I looked down at my legs. They had gone black.
It was like she was having a nervous breakdown.
I just did not want to lose my legs.
Next, two medical mysteries that defied the experts. When Diane Dyke's legs turn a bizarre and horrifying color, she's confronted with a shocking twist of fate. She may lose her legs or have to accept something even worse.
I was afraid I was doomed to suffer like this for the rest of my life. I was desperate to be put out of my pain.
When illness strikes, we look to doctors to give us answers. But what if they can't? For these unlucky patients, diagnosis is a mystery. In the fall of 1990, life was as good as it gets for 23-year-old Diane Dyke. She loved her job as a teacher and was thrilled to have finally settled down with her soulmate.
I married my high school sweetheart, Scott. We just had so many hopes and dreams. We put each other through school. I became a teacher, and he got a job at the same school where I worked.
Diane was a very loving school teacher. She had probably anywhere from 15 to 20 little special ed children from 4 to 6 years of age.
I loved those children. I couldn't wait to see them every morning and give lots of hugs and kisses. Couldn't wait to have children of my own.
Outside of the classroom, she was quite an athlete, full of vim and vigor.
We lived in Florida, so I rode my bike everywhere I went. I was a junior Olympic swimmer, and I taught dance classes. Exercise and working out was my life.
Everything seems perfect. Until one day in late October, when Diane notices a strange sensation in her right foot.
When I sat down and took my shoe off, I noticed that there was 2 red bumps on the arch of my foot. And I thought, well, how did a spider get in my shoe and bite my foot? That was the only thing I could think of.
Diane dismisses the odd mark and goes to bed. But nothing could have prepared her for what happens the moment she wakes up.
I went to get out of bed and I fell to the floor. My foot was swollen 2 times its size. The 2 red spots seemed to have spread. It looked like someone had beat me with a baseball bat. The pain was excruciating, and so I crawled to get help from my husband. Scott was quite horrified when he saw my foot, and so he picked me up and he took me right down to the emergency room. When they finally got me there, the doctor looked at it and he thought I had a hematoma.
A hematoma is a mass of blood that is collected in an organ, a body space, or in tissue as a result of a broken blood vessel.
He thought I must have hit my foot and didn't know it. I thought that was very strange because how could I hit my foot that hard and not know it? So it didn't make any sense to me. I just followed his directions, which was to take anti-inflammatories, to use crutches, and to not go to work. And if it didn't get better, to go to my primary care physician.
Sure enough, the bruising and pain slowly begin to fade. But a few days later, just when Diane thinks she's out of the woods, a strange new symptom rears its head.
I was having lots of red spots, and they seemed to be connecting like a road map on my legs. It was bizarre.
Frightened, Diane makes an emergency appointment with her family doctor. He, too, is puzzled by the odd pattern of spots and assures her they'll get to the bottom of it. But after performing a series of specialized tests, the medical team comes up empty.
They really didn't have a whole lot of information for me. It looked like everything was normal.
Frustrated and more than a little worried, Diane heads home empty-handed. But it isn't long before the painful episodes return with a vengeance.
The attacks would come on usually in my feet and would progress from my toes to the ankles. I was getting bruising and red streaks. There would be swelling and bumps all around like there was tennis balls underneath my skin. It was excruciating and it was really frightening.
Over the next several months, Diane visits doctor after doctor in a desperate search for answers. But no one can explain the baffling attacks.
It was so disappointing because it was just this vicious cycle of go and get poked and prodded and then wait and get no results.
Then, 6 months after Diane first noticed the strange mark on her foot, things take a sudden turn for the worse.
At work one day, I could feel the swelling and the discomfort was extending into my ankles. I took the students outside to play on the playground, and then we came back into the building, and I played with the children until finally I could not ignore it at all anymore. I had to get to the bathroom, and I barely made it there. I looked down at my legs. They had gone black. This bloody, black, discolored, inflaming, whatever it was. I don't believe I've ever felt pain like that in my entire life. I felt like there was a million bugs crawling underneath my skin, and there was burning. It was so scary. I did not know what to make of it. I went to the front desk to have the secretary buzz Scott in his classroom. When he saw what was going on, he was extremely frightened. He picked me up and put me in the car to take me directly to the emergency room.
After taking one look at Diane's black and swollen legs, the ER nurses put her on a stretcher and rush her into the nearest exam room.
There was a frenzy of activity around. They put me on pain medication. It wasn't really helping anything. A nurse came in every few minutes to check me, to take blood, and the doctor at the hospital had no clue what was going on. He said he would have some specialists come visit and take a look and see if he could get some help with my case.
Just a few minutes later, a vascular surgeon arrives to examine Diane's legs.
At that time, it was as black can be. He said he had never seen anything like it. He was touching my thigh area right above where the discoloration stopped, and he said we'd probably have to take it off right here. That was the first time I really realized that I could actually lose my legs.
For 6 months, Diane Dyke has endured mysterious and excruciatingly painful episodes of swelling and discoloration in her legs. Now, the worst attack yet has landed her in the emergency room, where doctors have told her she may lose her legs.